Hi there, this is James Lee, and I'm actually here to explain or give you a better understanding of what MaVie it's all about. An infant company, barely a year old. We just got started, and this is really something very exciting that I'm sure your friend invited you here to actually take a better look at what we offer here and what we are actually seeking. We're actually looking for visionaries and pioneers, out there to actually understand what we do and help us grow as a company from this point forward. A little background about myself before I get started. I was a naval officer from the Singapore Navy for 12 years. I left Navy in 2006 and started building my own businesses. I went out and started my entrepreneur journey. And I have to say, I'm always looking for ways and means to make money. In fact, I want to make a lot of money so that I get a better life for myself, for my family, and people around me. I was very blessed. About 9 years ago, a stranger contacted me, show me some information over the internet. He was in the US, I'm in Singapore, all thanks to a decision that I made because I was open-minded. That actually led me to actually start an incredible business over the next couple of years, along the way. And ever since then, the person who actually showed me the information, we became best buddies. We actually become business partners all these years, even up to now. And this has actually, over the years, has led us even to look at MaVie right now. All because at that time, when I first saw, and I have to say this is because of the mindset that I have, over the years that I built. And when I actually first saw a concept that I really liked, I locked onto it. And really at that time, when I was being shown, it was already in the US for many years. And then it was actually, nothing actually was actually in Singapore or even the whole of Asia. I saw it as a huge opportunity. I grabbed onto it and start building it. It took me almost 2 years to actually gain some traction, before things actually start to grow exponentially. In fact, at one point over the years, actually from nothing for 2 years, nothing really going on. And then on the third year, things starts to happen. And then over the next couple of years, actually we built a customer base of over 1 million customers around the world. And this is really something that takes time to grow something. And what happened was, because I know so many people along the way all these years, that actually led me to know the owner of MaVie. And of course, at that time, I know him as a very successful businessman from Jordan. He has businesses all over Asia, different parts of the world, many types of businesses. But I didn't know this part of him, that he actually created or invested in this technology with scientists and doctors. And I know him back in 2013, but we got reconnected back in middle of 2017. And that's where, when he actually showed it to this piece of information, I got really excited, and I said, this is something that I want to be part of. And that's why, we actually kind of created MaVie beginning of 2018. Right now, as I said earlier, this is an invitation to you from a friend or contact that actually send you to this information, that it's a business opportunity. It is a chance for us to actually work together. Looking at this whole information, as I said earlier, I was actually having a job before, and all this while, I always wanted to make good money. I want to have a better life, gain all this freedom and everything that I always wanted to have. And I become from an employee, I actually switched into a self-employed, owning my own businesses. And I have to say, nobody worked as hard as I do. I have devoted all my time. All of us only have 24 hours a day. How do we actually get more out of it, right? At that time, I actually got to know about, Robert Kiyosaki. I read the books, and because of that, it opened up my mind to actually gaining time and financial freedom. And in fact, this is something that all of us want. But the thing is, you see, if we only have one of the two and not both at the same time, it is really, really not a position that any one of us want. I mean, we could have a lot of financial freedom, but no time freedom, then it's like trapped, right? But also, if you have all the time in the world, you have time freedom, but no financial freedom, that's what some people will say, that's called unemployment, right? So we want to have both. So that's where, you know, when I look at this ESBI quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, really this opened up my mind, and I really literally from an E and S, I know that I was being taught that we have to switch over to the other side where you build a business, and of course, then you look into investment. But you see, if we were to look at business, building a business platform, it's going to cost us a lot of money, but you have to actually own a system, and then has people, you know, people working, you know, through your network, and then that's how you get paid for, right? So that's why around the world, all the business people know that if you really want to create that time and financial freedom, eventually you have to actually build a business. So this is really the information that I'm putting in our hands today to look at how do you look at MaVie as a business system that may actually work for you as well. Okay, so let's look at this business, how and why this is really the focal point. We are not talking about investment here, you know, that is another topic, but really at how do we use this platform as a business. Right now, if we are looking at business, it's all about creating and building a system, right? So if anyone out there who ever thought of creating a business, the question here is to ask, how much are you prepared to invest, right, into that business, both time and money? And of course, with that, it even comes with risk. So here we are looking at this platform. How are we going to make use of this information, and how do we actually create a business system that we actually can tap into and work for all of us here? Now, I mean, I want to ask all of us this question is like, do you know anyone spending on these things, like on skincare? You know, what about on hair care, supplements, fitness, weight loss, shopping, online, both online and offline, and also travel and vacation? I mean, these are what makes the world all go round, right? So all this, it's a huge industry putting together. What if there is a way right now that we could all tap into this? And not just that, by what I said, I got to know of Mr. Aboud, which is the owner of MaVie, reconnected in the middle of 2017, where he shared with me that through this investment that he has put in around DNA, he has actually building an AI system together with the scientists and doctors to create this platform that we actually focus into personalization. So, I mean, taking DNA of individuals and then creating personalized skincare, hair care, and supplements. You know, when I heard that, I said, wow, this is huge. And which is why, because I created success before, you know, I spent years building that. And that was 9 years ago. You know, it took me time to build it up. And now, after getting that success, and when I see this, I say that this is going to be much bigger at a higher level. You know, personalization is the way, you know, to go in terms of business all around the world these days. So because of advancement of technology and all, so which is why this is so exciting. And I would say, if we want to really create a business, we have to actually look into both trends and timing. I mean, these are two big words that I would say, given that anyone with any business acumen, you will agree that if you want to build something, you have to look at what's the trend and also the timing, you know, going forward. And because only with that right trends and timing that you set yourself, put your hands into, you're going to create a lot of momentum, you know, eventually when everything gets kind of catch up to that. So let me just play this quick video. Before that, you know, I just want to say that recently I just saw this over the rack in a magazine store, you know, with this National Geographic actually talking about DNA, genes. You know, they actually have a whole special edition published talking about the DNA analysis and all that stuff. And really, this is about the whole, how the world is actually progressing, what we are actually expanding into. So let's play the next video. Watch that first. Once you actually understand what this video is put together and talking about, you will understand we are not the only one talking about it. The whole world is actually talking about it. And I want all of us to focus on that. And in fact, this video is not talking about our company. It's basically just showing what the world is evolving into and what people are looking into in general. And then after that, I'm going to come back and explain how we can actually participate and how do we actually fit in and creating this business, this platform together. Okay? Enjoy.
We are here to celebrate the completion of the first survey of the entire human genome. Without a doubt, this is the most important, most wondrous map ever produced by humankind. Today, we are learning the language in which God created life. We are gaining ever more awe for the complexity, the beauty, the wonder of God's most divine and sacred gift. With this profound new knowledge, humankind is on the verge of gaining immense new power to heal. Genome science will have a real impact on all our lives, and even more on the lives of our children. It will revolutionize the diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of most, if not all, human diseases.
It was 60 years ago when British scientists Watson and Crick discovered DNA, the chemical code that makes us who we are.
There's no doubt that at this stage we are in the midst of a very exciting technological revolution in terms of the speed with which we can sequence human genomes and the cost of sequencing.
15 years actually, and about $4 billion later, the genome was sequenced and published. In 2003, the final version was published, and they keep working on it. That was all done on a machine that looks like this. It costs about $1 for each base, very slow way of doing it. Well, folks, I'm here to tell you that the world has completely changed, and none of you know about it. Consumer applications for genomics, they will flourish.
The emerging new technologies, things like microarrays, as well as just the effort to map the genome altogether, we suddenly had the emergence of a new technological space, the personal genomics space.
Doctors say with this information, personalised treatments could be tailored to individual needs.
We are living during the most extraordinary time ever in human history. And during our lifetime that we're about to see the transformation of the human race. People have no idea how fast the world is changing.
This idea that you can take a lot of gene variants, analyze them, and then predict the future would be considered the holy grail.
All right, we're back now at 8:11 with what might be a new frontier in the battle of the bones, the connection between your diet and your genes, but not the ones you wear.
Right. As researchers discover more about the human genome, they're also learning about how DNA and other biological markers may be able to help you determine the best foods for your body.
I think the bigger picture here is the idea of genomics in general, which, by the way, is already used in a variety of different fields: immunotherapy and oncology, biologic therapy for rheumatic disease. So the concept of nutrigenomics it's innovative and it's exciting, and we know that it's going to be probably a blockbuster for the future.
The science is called nutrigenomics, and it's part of a market that's expected to generate $600 billion globally by 2020.
DNA is going to completely disrupt the wellness, health, anti-aging, and the fitness industry.
I'm so excited by personalized nutrition.
We can adjust the food we eat then to our own DNA, our own requirements, the way we move and the way we live. Then we have an opportunity to lead healthy, active lives for much longer.
One day eggs are bad, the next day they're good. Fats are bad, now they're good. All of those different things are true. It's just about which one is true for you. When you think about moving from a one-size-fits-all approach to food to something that's highly personalized, it changes everything.
What our body needs to perform optimally. Like in beauty, for example, you can now go into there's a shop where you can have your whole genetic makeup analysed and then be prescribed beauty products that will help you stay looking more youthful and vibrant for longer. So I think this sort of trend is actually echoing across different categories.
We all age differently depending on our genes. If we can work out what those genes are, can we tailor our skincare accordingly?
We live in a state that thrives on sports and competition. So what if you had the key to unlock your competitive edge?
So the key thing compared to the traditional type of training will give you a competitive advantage compared to those that have similar characteristics with you, but they don't know the little small details that your genes are trying to tell you. You will be less susceptible to injury, which will lengthen your sports career. At the end, basically, you will get better results, and you will get better results faster. So you will always have the competitive edge.
Predictive genomics allow us to generate personalized products and services made uniquely for an individual to look younger, be healthier, live longer, feel and perform better, and achieve an overall state of well-being.
What do you think will be the biggest life-altering innovations for humans in the next 100 years?
I got one for the next 20 years, and that's our power of control over the human genome. You can get rid of diseases that have altered the lives of so many people. You can possibly live longer.
We are seeing for the first time in history products available to the masses that are individually made based on your DNA.
Okay, so now you have watched the whole entire video. I've watched this multiple times, and every time I watch it, I would say that I feel like I'm at the forefront of this, of building this incredible business, for the world, at the forefront, leading that charge, and being able to be part of something can be so incredible. So let's say after watching it, I know. Some people might be thinking, how can we get involved? Is it going to cost a lot of money and everything? So what if we don't have to be a scientist or doctor? Because this is exactly what I felt when I first saw this piece of information. I said, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor. How can I get involved with creating something like this around this industry? What if we don't need to put in a lot of investment? We don't need a huge capital. And what if also we don't have to take on a huge risk on our own, all right? So, and then we can actually participate in something, such a cutting edge business going forward. Okay, so once you say, look at that and said, if you are really interested and so far, so good, right? So my question to you is, are you ready for the jump? I always say that if you want to have a taste of something, you have to actually take the effort, you have to actually jump in. So now, of course, if you're ready at this point, let me give you some background to this and you will have a better insight of what we actually do here. So many people won't understand, even at this point, why is it so important to know about our own DNA, our own genes, and all that stuff. I asked the same question with our doctors and scientists, and here comes the reply and helping us to understand better, which is actually, Dr. Marios, our chief scientist, actually talked about using this example. We all know Sir Winston Churchill. It's actually the Prime Minister, of Britain back in the early days in World War II. Very stressful environment situation at that time. At the same time, we all see that he is overweight, heavy drinker, smoker. He doesn't exercise and eat very unhealthy food and all that stuff, and a very stressful job indeed. But he actually lived to a ripe age of 90 years old, which is incredible, for anyone. And people actually look at this and said, "Oh, I will be good." In fact, a lot of us will be probably looking at Jim Fixx, a person like Jim Fixx, who actually a champion runner, wrote books to teach people how to be healthy, and all that stuff. He's doing exactly opposite of what Sir Winston Churchill is doing, but actually he died of, unfortunately, he died of a heart attack at 52. So really, this is the genetic makeup, and it all boils down to how a person it's reacting, based on the genes and everything, because not everyone will react the same way by doing the same thing, and stuff like that. So we have seen multiple, even around us, that people who really lead a very healthy life, but they didn't perform as well as somebody who didn't even take care of their health. So this actually really has to do with our genes, okay? So they went on further to explain that genetics is like a loaded gun. We don't know what's going to pull that trigger and trigger something off. So what actually trigger off is our lifestyle and environment that is actually going to pull that trigger. So right now we're really looking at, because of the advancement of science and technology, we're able to formulate, all these solutions, personalized products and plans that is based on science, based on individuals, DNA. And we are able to actually make it up for that person that works best for that person. So that is why this is such a powerful plan, and that's where we introduce the platform called MaVie. So you see, the thing is, we actually break it down into this whole entire ecosystem that we are building, where we have the wellness component and also the lifestyle. We call it the DNA wellness and DNA lifestyle. So why wellness? Okay, wellness because it's an ever-growing industry. It's a $4.2 trillion, and it's still growing. So this is really massive. When I actually see this, I said, okay, I'm glad I'm actually identified this as something that I could actually work on. But with the lifestyle industry, it's another whopping, almost $10 trillion industry combined. So we are looking at really a huge playground for all of us. Okay. So let's look at the wellness first, okay? We have our own DNA reports and with proprietary advice and all that stuff. And not just that, we actually have personalized skincare, hair care, and even supplements. So let's take a look at this. I mean, you see, all these are reports. Reports are great. It's just the first step of understanding ourselves better. We have 5 different reports, one of which is actually our nutrition and weight loss report. Based on this, actually test all the different markers and actually give all this recommendation. And also, you see, I mean, having the report is one thing, but acting on that report and having all this recommendation and advice, this is the key. What do we do with the report? That is actually the corrective action part, which is the paramount importance of what we are building here. Okay, so you see, take a look at this. This is one of, in fact, our GM in Africa. He actually, we know he's overweight at the point, that was before he even joined us, in the company. And he actually make his own effort, after 1 year, he actually lost about 10 kg. At that middle photo is where he actually just joined us. He did his DNA test, got his report, and then with his meal plan, and all that workout plan, he started working on it. And it only took him 8 weeks and he lost another 10 kg. So isn't that amazing? This is powerful information that we can have, and this is also another of our members. Actually, she has over 3 years of skin problems, seeing National Skin Center, in Singapore, and it couldn't even really find the root of that cause, and then he was actually just being given steroid creams and to deal with it. But then because of she did a DNA test and got the report, and then in the report actually mentioned that she was actually gluten intolerant. So she actually started cutting back on gluten intake, stopped drinking beers with her husband, and also not take all the yellow noodles with gluten, and all that stuff for almost 3 weeks, and see what happened. It cleared up the skin and everything, which is, I think this is just amazing and incredible. All right, so these are different things. We have skincare reports, anti-aging. With that, we even create personalized skincare products based on individual needs on your own DNA requirements. Okay, so this is really something that I too close to my heart. I think this is really powerful. And we have a fitness and sports performance report as well. Based on your genes, it tell you exactly, where your weaknesses is, and what do you need to do about it. Okay, this is actually one of our friend here in Singapore. He actually was, I know him as the photo, on the left, when he first joined us, and that's exactly, he was telling me that he was going to the gym, but he couldn't see that the results and everything. He was almost getting disappointed with himself going to the gym and see no effort. But he took his DNA test, and then got the report. And with that, in the report, he actually talked about, like, if he were to go to the gym and work out, he shouldn't eat anything within 4 hours, and all that stuff. And he should not push himself to the limit of 100%. He should just work out like 65, 70% of the effort. And that is based on his gene. And of course, he started working on that. And then look at, in 3 months, he actually lost about 13 kilograms. Okay, this is like really information, power of information that actually help us deal better with how we actually live our life. We have inborn talent, and of course, all this is really good for all of us to understand ourselves better. And then the younger we are, of course, it will be really good, because then you know where are your things that you need to improve on. And of course, at this point, we have not opened up for children, but the day that we open up for children, I'll tell you, this is really going to be exciting, because we're going to have a lot of parents who wants to actually get this done for their children, so that at least they can be very targeted and how do you actually groom their kids, to have full potential. And of course, we have our ancestry reports. Based on that, you are able to actually know where are your top genes that's matching all the different regions. We have top 5 regions that we actually put out there. This is really interesting to know, and for all of us. So all these reports is really for us to actually, know the information, but knowing the information, what is the things that we use to actually address that internally. So this is where we create with our proprietary technology, unique to our consumer right here, that is connected here with all these different things, right? We have our DNA test reports and all that, and fitness plan and nutrition plan, working out. People pay a lot of money just to get the nutrition plan and even workout plans where you get your personal trainers. But now we are specific for your DNA, based on your DNA. And then based on your DNA, we actually create personalized skincare and hair care products. And also very soon, we're going to see our personalized nutrition, which is very, very exciting for all of us here talking about it. I'm very excited. Can't wait to get my hands on them. And here's actually a quick introduction of our scientific board, with the nation, and working on this with us, providing us to our consumer all these incredible products and reports, based on the science, using the AI system and all that stuff. Of course, you can go to MaVie.com and find more information about them. I just want to bring your attention to Dr. Marius Camboris. He's actually one guy that I really, really respect. He spent like 26 years, more than 26 years of his life, working on DNA studies, impacting the world with all this research and data and things that he has developed and created for mankind. I would say I'm very, very honored and blessed to be able to work with somebody with that high caliber. He's part of this genetic medical board in the US. Not just that, he has actually published over 70 journals, articles around DNA, one of which is the most widely referenced papers, in terms of predictive genomics on athletic performance. It's actually written research headed by him. And also, they have done tests for Premier League players around the world, different players, sports athletes, all that stuff. And not just that, recently he was just appointed by one nation to take care of the entire population DNA research, which is incredible. I mean, we have such a person with such high caliber working with us, expanding our product offerings and everything. And this is really something I have to say kudos to Mr. Aboud, and also Dr. Marius Camboris for coming together, joining force to actually create something for us. Now, the process is really, really simple. Basically, there are a couple of steps here. We just order your kit, swab the cheek. There's no blood test required on anything. You mail it back to the company, and then they are going to use the AI technology to generate all these reports. And then basically it's uploaded on the cloud and we get it live. Okay, so meaning that every time when there's any new updates or whatever, it's future-proofing the report. So we actually get it constantly as long as you are plugged into the system. And this whole thing will continue to grow. Not just that. Now, most companies out there just give us a static report. That's it. But here, it's a future-proofing. And most companies do not, at this point, offer all these corrective actions. But we do here for our consumer, for our customer base, And that is exactly how this is so incredible, looking into how we can actually have a better life, and by creating this corrective actions in terms of all this usage, all right? So now, more and more companies might be coming up to do all this offering, but that is where, as we build MaVie, we are not solely a DNA company. We are literally, a company that built a distribution channel that we actually bring all these great products, with science-based, technology-based as a center core, and we actually built a lifestyle offering as well for our community. So which is why this is so critical to understand the uniqueness of what we are doing. So while everybody else may be talking about DNA, but here we have an building an overarching ecosystem that actually wrap around it. So we created this lifestyle, offering to our consumer, our network, our distribution channel, or our community, whatever you want to call it. So this ecosystem includes our VMall, VMAX, VExplore, and VFit. So really, we have those addressing the internal factors, which is all the products that I've talked about in the DNA wellness component. And over here in DNA lifestyle, we actually have all this addressing our external factors. So that's where our subscription, using our through a subscription model with all these benefits that's coming together. Now, what's VMall? VMall basically it's an online shopping mall, and more people nowadays they all shop online, and everything, which is how the world is moving anyway. So because of that, we are connecting our consumer, our network through all this offering on online shopping that you can plug in directly to all these merchants all around the world. And not just that, you can look at all these different categories, all the different brands, big brands out there. We are plugging directly onto their website, and you can actually make purchases directly with them, with all this health and beauty products, electronics, computer, even travel, booking engine, and all that stuff. And why this is so, because once you actually book through it, you get kickbacks where the company, once you are part of our community, you go through our gateway into all this merchants website, and you actually get kickback and you get it back in V dollars. V dollars is like cash to us, and you can actually use the V dollars to actually pay for your subscription, pay for your DNA reports, or pay for your DNA products, all your supplements, your skincare products, and all that stuff. So this is really incredible. And that's why we said that when you actually spend, like over here, this is actually an example, you get approved V dollars when you actually spend on all these merchants. And then this money cut that you got back, you can literally use it to purchase my skincare products, for example. Okay, so this is really fantastic. So we have the V Mall, and we're also building a VMAX program, which is like a loyalty program that we actually created and reaching out to all these different categories, of offline merchants that our members all around the world can actually go into their local markets and then spend there and get offset get discounts from all these merchants because you're part of this community. So how do we actually work on this online and offline? Basically is to provide benefits to our community. And not just that, we have travel. I mean, everybody loves to go on holiday, a good vacation, but if you want to go out and create this trip all around, you have to spend time and effort, and you might not even negotiate the best deal or best price. So what happened here is that because of this as a community, you actually will be able to look at this and said, okay, for example, a Greece trip here, 8 days, 7 nights, all inclusive, 5-star resort, getting all the perks, wine tasting, massage discounts, and also a beach yoga by a renowned yogi. So putting up together something like that, I would say anyone out there would have said, I would be prepared to pay $2,000 to $3,000 for just a trip like this, because you're part of the community and everything, and the company go out there and do this for us. We, as a member, you actually pay $699 per person. So this is really an example of how the value can be actually given out to all our community, to all these different trips that are going out forward. Okay, so we also have this VFit. Now, this is something that I'm wearing here as well. So this is actually a device, a wearable device that some people might say, is there any difference between this and any other, like the Fitbit, Garmin, and all these other devices? I would say they are all similar because they measure, all this, the steps tracker, the blood pressure, the sleep monitor, different things, right? And what happened here is that if you use this device that you get from here as a community, we actually convert your calorie burn and then create into a usable, tangible V points that you can actually use it with our VMAX merchants. And not just that, you could also use this. What if you can use this to actually offset your VExplore holiday? So that's why this is really creating a fun factor tying in with our ecosystem. So if you look at this whole entire thing, this is one massive, ambitious project that we are building. So we are really looking for pioneers, visionaries, and leaders to actually see this with us. So as early adopters, as pioneers, what do we do and how do we actually go out there? I mean, it takes time to build something like that. Okay, so how long is it going to take? I would say I'm prepared for 1 to 3 years to build the foundation. Now, calling out anyone who are actually out there looking at this with us. You get me? Because what is that end game? The end game really is to create eventually a broad base, global broad base of attraction of customers, utilization of all these services and products that we put together on this platform. So this is really, we are not just focused on a DNA company, but we actually offer on a very widespread of both looking into wellness and also lifestyle. So that is the end game. So how we actually create this, right? So if now we switch gear a little bit and talk a little bit more into like the business. So if you're looking at the inside this phone, right? Everything that listed in here, it's anyone out there with any business people looking at it is like, it makes sense. This is everything that they would have spent on. They have to actually bear the risk on and everything. So MaVie, it's also a business, and I'm so glad that the company, the corporate, the owner, they actually put all that up for us and then created a platform for us and bearing the risk for us. Now, as a marketer or as a person who actually go out there and connect this to the consumer, you know, what do we gain? Of course, as we build this channel, distribution channel globally, the company pay us. But of course, there is a cost to it, right? How much does it cost to set up this global business with us? And how much does it cost for us to actually tap into our own DNA reports and get the book of our life that we can actually use it very targeted, no more guessing, right? So as a pioneer, I'll kind of like show all of us, you know, the whole structure and what we need to do from the lowest to the highest. I'll give you a range of how to actually get started, okay? So now, the way that we do it is actually everybody to actually get hold of their own DNA reports, right? So you can actually choose to start with 1 report, 2 report, 3 or 5 reports, all 5 reports. So you pick your pack, you choose what you want, okay? So once you do that, you actually, because we are subscription-based business, we have a subscription model. So you can actually choose your membership with a monthly or yearly. So you can actually choose that. It's just like, for example, like a gym membership or country club membership. So why do we actually have a subscription base? Really because of the masses that we want to reach out. And then on top of that, we want to know the customers. We want to go in depth into providing all the information on a regular basis and give us all the best value as a member. So that's why you subscribe. Okay, more and more companies out there are all going into subscription model. Even today, if you look at your phone, all the apps, they're all switching into a subscription model. You know, I would say even your software companies out there are all moving into subscription model. So this is actually how we can actually really effectively create a longevity in the business, and also how do we actually provide value to our consumer. So, of course, this is a call to actually gather people around the world to actually look at us and help us grow as associate, to help us build this foundation. So it's a choice. I mean, of course, if you're happy with just being a customer, getting your reports, you know, and getting all the benefits as a consumer, you can actually just pick your pack and be a member. And then if you want to actually help us grow, choose the third part, which is to be an associate with us. And you can choose yes or no, right? If you choose yes, you have to actually choose monthly or yearly payment as well, because this is the business component side. You know, it's like setting up your website, you know, getting all your business kit set up so that it tracks your business globally, all that, okay? So you have to choose whether you pay by monthly or yearly. Of course, everything just like buying of insurance, if you choose annually, yearly payment, you actually get great value and great savings as well. So look at the low first. The low is actually be a customer with a blue pack, okay? What it comes with, really, it's about $349. It comes with a test kit with your inborn talent report and a 1 month free subscription. And this is really a promotion given out right now. The value is almost like $500 US, but you save almost over $100 from this alone. Okay, so, and not just that, of course, just as I said, you have a customer and you also choose to be a member and also associate. I'm assuming that that is the case. So you actually pay $349 for that blue pack, and then you go for every month payment, which is you set up for basically this as a monthly subscription, right? You pay $69 every 4 weeks, I would say, and then you get 100 V points that you can actually use on VMAX, or even going on a holiday, and all that stuff, right? So with our V Explore. So you also be an associate, also choosing as a monthly. So you set up of 69 one time, and then every month after to kind of like the business entity to be active and to track your business globally. It's $25 US per month. Okay, so if you add that up, it's about one-time setup of $418 US, and then $94 US every 4 weeks. All right. So with that, this is the low. And what about the high? The high is that if someone said, okay, I want all the reports that I've seen, I want everything, all the information there. You get a 3 months free subscription based on a promotion right now given out to all of us. You pay $1,299. What you get is really the test kit, 3 months of free subscription. You include even a skincare products to which is what we call the Essential Duo, and also our VFit watch. All right, and get all the reports. This is valued at almost $2,000 US, and you saved almost $700 US. Okay, so this is what you pay as a rate pack. And again, let's assume that you are taking the rate pack. Get a membership subscription also on a yearly basis, and then you have the business also pay on a yearly basis. And I would say because of that, if you add that up, okay, not just that, if you choose yearly, you actually get 3,000 V points upfront, okay, and then also a 3 month free subscription. So technically speaking, you actually get a lot more value from this. If you add the whole thing up, it's actually 2247. 2247 is what you paid for the entire year for your entire business, including the reports and also be a member, okay? So this whole entire thing, once you understand this as a package, okay, have that in mind. Why do I have a screen of Starbucks? I mean, I just want to use this as a reference. Starbucks really make money, not because they just sell coffee. They actually built a global distribution channel. And that's how they actually really become one of the biggest, most prominent business around the world. Everywhere you go, there is a Starbucks, right? So that's what this is all about. If you look at MaVie today, as we are creating a global distribution channel as well. It's not just selling you a DNA report, or going out there to sell you some product. This is not why we are building this business. We are building a platform. We are growing this globally. Because you see, once you understand the significance of what we are doing here together, and that's why this is so critical. This is a global business. It's not just restricted here. I would say build locally, think globally. This is really the crux of it. I understand this years back, and when I saw this, I really all makes sense, as Warren Buffett say, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you have to work until you die, right? So once we all understand how we can actually today start something and then start to grow it to a different locations, and people start working around the system or building this as an idea together. And that's how you create, a system, a global system, a platform that literally you can make money while you're sleeping. So this is really why we are here and why I'm so excited sharing this information. So we are looking for business partners and early adopters. I always like to show a curve like this, the bell curve of innovation. And this is really, that's why we are looking for people who get it, who wants this, okay? So not everybody is going to say yes right at the beginning. There's only a small group of people, the innovators and the early adopters, right? Because the rest is going to come, right? So there's going to be early a majority later, or the late majority. I just hope that none of us watching this right now, we're ever going to be laggards here, okay? So once you understand this, this is how we actually go out and partner up and grow and share this information with others. Now, after looking at all this information, I'm sure you have in your mind some questions. And if I can guess, what's in your mind right now. Okay, one of which is, can I really make the money? Okay, so I don't know if that's your question, but if this is your question, my question back to you is, how much do you want to make? So you see, I started off by saying that when I saw a platform like this and how I can actually create together at this infancy stage, to build it up to a global market, how much do you want to make? So really, it's your call, all right? So let's assume, and let's start from the basic. How do we actually even just break even with your outlay? You have actually put in, let's say, I'm just assuming that you go for the fullest, biggest pack, what you will spend in a full year, 2247. 2247 for your capital outlay, or what you spend on this, right? So can I say that it's just reasonable to actually say that if you can break even the 2247 in 3 months or less? Is that fair? I would say if I can actually look at a business and then within 3 months or less, I can break even, it will be a good business, right? So any business you want to break even. How do we actually break even here? So every business is all about duplication. How do you actually duplicate a sale? How do you actually go out, duplicate, and create a distribution channel? So the company actually created for us what we call a 3 in 30 builder booster. This is actually a team building kind of business that we actually go out there. At this point, this is really the stage whereby we are building our teams. So 3 in 30 BB, okay, business builder. So how do you actually do that? Okay, in your first month, okay, in the first month, if you do 3 that duplicate exactly what you do, okay, so it could be just, I'm assuming this in this example is just using the big pack. Okay, of course you can start with the small, and all that stuff, but using the big pack of once you actually get the MIB, which is your direct bonus, and your BB bonus, that is actually 500 times 3, because you got 3 within 30 days, right? Which is the first month. So that's 1,500. On top of that, you have this thing called the team bonus and double team bonus. That's another 220 over there. You add that up, it's 1,720 US dollars that you make so far, all right, within this 3 in 30. And then you have the next 2 to 3 months, okay? So the next 60 to 90 days. So if you're talking about that, or I'm just assuming that on your small volume leg, okay, your SVL, you generate 3,300 CB, okay? So both month 2 and month 3. So if you have that because of that, you actually make a team bonus of about 660 US dollars times 2 months, you actually make about 1,320. So if you add both month 1, month 2, and month 3, everything add up within 3 months or less. You can do it quicker, right? I'm sure there's going to be people who can do it even within a week, and you actually make 3,040 US dollars. Is that already break even? So that's how we actually talk about, this is really personal effort, going out there, build a business. You start on your own effort and then start building a team, because we built this not because we just want to do this all the time. We want to build a team to grow, because eventually from an active income, you can convert it into a passive income stream, you see. And then of course, I like to ask people, do you like a one-time payment, or you want recurring? Some people say one time, some people say recurring, but I would say I want both, okay? So how do you actually create that? And this is really something that we are building. And as a direct bonus, is really, we have that, which is personal effort and one time. If you really talk about team effort, team bonuses, it's really creating that recurring income. This is how you do it, okay? So we have 3 different types of recurring income here, okay? So that is how we actually go out there and kind of build your teams. You have a team bonus, matching bonus, and global pool. So I'm here to actually give all of us an overarching of what are these payouts, how the commissions run, and how we actually get paid on, okay, how much we get paid on. First, we look at the team bonus. The team bonus here, it's actually 10%, on the small volume leg, and 10% regardless of the amount. And of course, the company actually capped out and pay up to 100,000 US dollars a week. Now, I don't know if you hear this and do you like the sound of it? I love it, because if I would be able to build a business and then I know what is my focus on, what can I actually derive that $100,000 a week, that I can get a commission on, I'm excited. Okay, so that's the maximum. That means maximum we can actually get paid on is potentially $400,000 per month. Okay, this is based on the volume of the small volume, like 10%. I mean, if you look at this, really, how much do you want to get paid on? So really depends on how much productivity we actually create. So the company actually has a cap here, and this is really important to understand, because the company actually put a cap to a limit of how much they will be able to pay out, because then they can't pay out unlimited, right? So there is this control over here. Now, of course, over here, some people after looking at this will say, okay, they only pay on a small volume. So what about the big volume? So what happened? So, and this is really why I said that we have very good offering here. We introduced a matching bonus here, which doesn't care whether it's the left or the right or the big or the small volume leg. Basically, the company pay on leadership. So it's like leaders creating other leaders, and then the company actually do pay us based on generations of those creation of those leaders. So almost think of it like different shops that you created, different franchisee, right? And every franchisee pays you a 10 to 5%, you know, and all that stuff. The company actually pay us on that. So, I mean, of course, once you understand the significance of this, it's really pay on 10 generations of leadership globally. So in your organization. So, and this is literally uncapped. And this is interesting to look at, because we are looking at, no one's stopping you from just creating 5 or 10. What if you have 100 organizations that you create globally? What if you have 1,000? Now, this is really something very, very exciting that I can see we can actually build towards. And of course, at the same time, the company create a global pool where they actually, regardless of whether it's in your organization, as long as the company is actually growing and getting all this pulled all around the world of the spendings, you know, and all the engagement and everything, the company will take out 1% of the global CV every week and pay out to the rank 9 to rank 14, and also 2% will be taken out and share it among all the rank 12 to rank 14. So this is really a global pool going out there to help everybody actually to grow the company to the biggest scale ever. Okay, so, and it's uncapped. So really, the sky is the limit. Okay, so once you understand this, I want to actually share my favorite, you know, graphic, you know, of all time, the tipping point. Okay, so you see from one dot it starts to spread to a few, and then few into hundreds, and then into the thousand, until the massive growth where every corner of the earth, you know, that actually know about this, want something like this, and then that's where we call the tipping point. We are far from this tipping point at this stage. Okay, we are looking for people, leaders, visionaries come together and help us grow to that. So really, this is that time that we want to rally people together, and so that we understand what we are building, the significance of what we are creating, you know, out there, and build a better life for everyone. Okay, so really, what's your ultimate goal? You know, what's all our ultimate goal? Really, we have two teams here, a left team and a right team. So just think of it like having two buckets. You know, so there's all the productivity that's generated that the company based on to actually pay us. Not just that, I just want to here to say we have a common understanding. We are here to build a global distribution channel, and to turn over how many CV per month. I leave it blank, because it's really, you know, up to you. You know, you want to make big money, you want to make small money, I don't know. Okay, if you want to make small money, you know, little effort. If you want to make big money, big effort. Okay, so really, as we actually go out there and grow this and keep constantly, you know, showing and telling, because once you actually created teams like that, you're getting paid on team bonus, matching bonus, and global pool, like I said, and there's literally no limits. So you write your own checks. Okay, so the next few slides I'm going to close off, and this is one information I have to share right now, because if I don't share with you, and if you get to know about it later and you know about it, you're going to blame me for not sharing. Okay, so let me just share this first. We have two teams, like I said, your left team and right team, as we show you, and let's say here, me to you, or your friend who actually show it to you. And if you say yes to the idea, we will put you, let's say, for example, in this case, on the left team. So there you are. And then we continue to show with other people. And let's say a gym person came in. Okay, so we put Jim in on the left team also, and right under you. And as he start growing the team and growing, and he brought in Sandy, Bill, and Kim. And Kim started building a huge organization right here, and then a lot of productivity and all that stuff. That is all part of your team as well, as you can see. But let's create a second scenario. Let's say you saw this and you said, let me think about it, or maybe not right now. It's fine, it's cool, because we are not here to push people to do what they don't want to. But the thing is, after you say no, we won't stop. We'll continue to go and show other people and share this piece of information. And let's say Jim comes in at this point. Jim, let's say, go into the left team. And you come back to your friend or me and said that let's do this and everything. And in this scenario, we can only put you right under Jim, right? We can't reverse it, okay? Because Jim got in first and then you came in. And we still welcome you, we still love you. But the thing is, as Jim grows his team on with Sandy, Bill, and Kim, as that starts to grow, you can see in the picture that has like no relationship with you. So in that sense, you know, I always say, do you want to position before Jim or after Jim? Okay, so again, the choice is yours. You make your decision. But I always like what Sir Richard Branson said. If someone offers us, you know, a great opportunity and we don't know what to do yet, we are not sure if we can do it, just say yes first, and then we learn how to do it later. So because we can never learn everything and understand everything before we get started in something. We have to learn along the way. So we actually build as a team, we grow as a team, and then we help each other. Let's go out there and build the biggest team ever all around the world, you know. And I have to close off by saying that if you can actually own a global business like what you have seen, what I've shown here, and you can actually really unlock the key to your own health based on DNA, getting all these corrective actions and corrective actions on your DNA based on all the reports and signs, with 2247, you think it's worth it, and you think it's worth the time, you know, really get back to the person we actually invited you, and let's connect one day soon, and let's build a global distribution channel together, and let's go out and create a life only better for everybody. So take care, God bless, and see you soon.